Hello, and welcome back to That's Craftable, where the subscribers are in charge. So today I was thinking of some letter transfer techniques that we could do while we're all stuck at home, and maybe some of us are running out of ink or don't have a vinyl machine, or maybe don't have a printer, and you're trying to find ways to transfer things with maybe just some things you have lying around in your house. So I painted up a few pieces of board and I grabbed some things out of some magazines to show you a technique. So, you know those little book report things that are like see-through and shiny and they feel filmy and all that? So I know you guys probably know you can run that through a printer with a, image as long as it's turned backwards, because, if you print it the right way and then you turn it and you try to transfer that, it's going to be backwards. So, same thing here. If you've got, an image in a magazine that you want transferred, of course, if you try to transfer it by just tracing it and then you try to turn it and immediately put it on your piece of board, it's going to be backwards. But the amazing thing about these book report covers are they are see-through. So, just trace it out and then turn it around and trace it out on the back side so that your image is backwards, and the backwards one is the one you're going to rub onto your sign. And I did this using Sharpie marker, which is supposed to be permanent and not transferable, but this is so shiny it just won't stick, so it's transferable. So you can use a Sharpie, you can use furniture scratch markers, you can use whatever you have around. I did not try Expo markers, but I'm pretty sure if a Sharpie worked, an Expo will work. But here I'm just doing the market that I traced, and I'm actually doing this because of Heidi Sambal, to be honest. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her, but she is a YouTuber that I watch here. And she's been encouraging me and everybody to really work on things that are out of their comfort zone, and this is way out of my comfort zone. I'm not very good at tracing, so that's actually why I'm doing this, because I want to get better at tracing letters and feel more comfortable with doing it. So take your chopping mat now. Here's another way you can do it if you don't have the book report cover things. Put the shiny side facing down, because that's the side you want to have your ink on when you transfer. So trace the back of the image on the hard side, the crunchy side, or whatever you want to say. And then I used the furniture scratch markers again. I used black. On the shiny side now. And, fill in the image that you traced. And now your image is facing backwards, but when you flip it around and face it on the board with the shiny side facing down towards the board, then your image is all of a sudden the right way on the board. I hope that makes sense. I don't know that I'm explaining that correctly, but hopefully you can watch what I'm doing and I'm explaining it enough to where you can understand. But see? Look at that! I live in Georgia, so I did Georgia. But that is a look we are all striving for in the farmhouse technique. We all want that weathered, old, aged look. So I was trying to think of ways that people could get it that didn't have a printer, like I said, and didn't have a vinyl machine, or can't get ink, or, just whatever. But they have plenty of things like this laying around. So if you have something shiny like that book report cover, or you have these chopping mats, I did not try it with wax paper. Maybe somebody could try that and let me know if it works. I'm sure it would. So then I got to thinking, there's a lot of words that we use over and over again in decor. Like every summer we put out certain decor pieces, in spring and fall. There's a lot of words we use a lot in farmhouse. We use gather, home, things like that. And maybe you're looking through a magazine one day and you see home or summer or whatever written in a font that you really like, and you don't know what font it is, so you can't really look it up on the computer, and you look and look and look and you can't find it. Or maybe you just want to create whatever that you see, a pig in a book from your child's book, a cow from your child's book. Get creative and think out of the box, and where could I find images or words? And then you can use this technique to get that old weathered look transferred onto a sign or a project that you might be working on. And maybe instead of, and maybe to make it more permanent, like I was saying, like when you find that image or that thing that you want to keep so that you can transfer it anytime, then use an embossing tool. This is what this is, or something that scratches. I used a pen even. I think in the very end in project, when I put all this together into a couple of little quick projects, anything that scratches. And on the non-shiny side, then you would trace it and scratch it into the plastic and scratch as many words into the plastic as you want, and then put that chopping mat in your stash and you have those words anytime. So this is a transfer technique that I think everybody probably knows, but for those that don't, take your images that you found in your magazine. Probably could do this out of a book as well, as long as it was like one of those inkjet printed books, like a child's book or something. But lay some clear tape over the image and then cut that out. So I found Hello Spring here. I think I did Farmer's Market. It's fixing to show in just a minute. I don't know what is going on in my voice. And I did this one on purpose, but my camera quit out before I could get it rubbed off in the end, and you'll understand what I mean by that in a minute. But I did this on purpose. So you see how that background in that garden party one is green? Just so you know, if your background is a colored background like that, it will be a colored background in your end image that appears on your tape. And that'll make sense if you don't know this technique, and so you don't know what I'm talking about yet. That will make sense in a minute. But if your image is too big, like that farmer's market was, the second one, or that last one that I just did, just place 2 pieces of tape side by side as close as you can. That's perfectly fine. That'll work too. And after it's been sitting in the warm water for a couple of hours, just throw them in there, go do some chores and come back to it a couple hours later. Rub off the paper, and there you go. Look, your words are perfectly transferred onto the tape. And the great thing is, you just set that tape to the side, let it dry till the water, is gone. Couple of minutes or whatever. And guess what? The tape is sticky again, and I'm fixing to prove it to you. I did just a really short little project. I just took a box and a frame from Dollar Tree and put it together to make a little, what am I trying to say? A shadow box. And I put a, Dollar Tree piece of greenery right there. What is that called? Oh my goodness. A succulent in it. And then here's our Hello Spring that I cut out and stuck it right back to prove to you that it really does get sticky again. So now I'm doing the transfer, that I did in the beginning. I just, I'm showing you with 3 different markers. And since now you know this technique and you know what I'm doing, and you can just kind of watch the screen, I have a story to tell you guys. I was at Dollar General today, and the most amazing thing happened. So I have That's Craftable written all over my van, trying to, I guess get the subscribers and people to know about my channel and just exposure, I guess. And this lady seen it, and she walked up to me and she was like, "Excuse me, is that your van outside?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "What kind of DIYs do you do?" And I kind of told her what I've been doing. And she said, "Well, honey, I started a business a few years ago and I'm not doing it anymore." She was like, "But it was like a wreath business." And oh my God, she gave me some of the wreaths she made. They're gorgeous, by the way. But anyway, so she was like, "I have all this stuff and I keep trying to find somebody to give it to because I'm not doing it anymore. And would you like to have it?" And I was like, "Have it?" And I mean, I didn't have any money to offer this lady or anything. And I just couldn't believe she wanted to just give it to me. See, that's the furniture scratch marker at the bottom. That is the fine tip at the top. And I didn't really backwards trace out another image, so I just made one up here with a permanent marker so you could see that you can do permanent marker as well. But anyway, yeah, she took me to her house, which was right down the road, and she gave me all kinds of stuff, you guys. When I say all kinds of stuff, I mean lots and lots of stuff. from her crafting business. And she said she was going to subscribe. I don't know if she did, but if you're hearing this, Latoya, thank you. You really did make my day. You blessed my heart, and I really appreciate you. So see, there's the permanent marker. And I'm doing this, like I said, because I'm not very good at tracing letters, and I'm trying to get better and work outside of my comfort zone. And that was the whole reason for this video, to show you that we can all work on it. Heidi is right. Let's get out of our comfort zone and let's learn how to trace. Because as you can tell, I need a lot of work. Look at that. But I think that the transfer image thing that I came up with was pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Stick around and subscribe.